Yo, what's good to the people on YouTube, to the men and women on YouTube? I hope y'all doing well. It's Zion, and I'm back with another YouTube video. I don't know if y'all in tune to my TikTok or like my other content that I shot, but I got some surgery recently, y'all. Like, I finally got some surgery, and yeah, like, that's all I really wanted to say, but I guess it's preceding the video. But I just want to like talk to y'all and just talk about life, okay? Because I don't know, like the signs of the time is like near and near, and it's like I feel like I be peeping all of the signs, and like some of the people around me be peeping the signs, but then I be feeling like a lot of people be oblivious. And I'm not like about to go like deeply spiritual to like some shit that you can't fathom, but I'm just gonna speak from like a social aspect, for example. Like currency, for example. Like the currency, for example, is the value of your dollar is going worse. Like since like 2020, I'm gonna give you like a little analogy, like on a personal analogy, like on some slow shit, to where like I noticed things were changing. Like 2020, 2019, I think it was like they raised the price of the honey bun from like 50 cents and to like $1. I think it was first like 75, and then it was like $1. And I kid y'all not, like I've never brought a honey bun since they raised it to $1. Like, but at the same time, coincidentally, I was also like becoming like, I never was a sweet tooth. Like I never had a cavity, so I just really stopped giving a fuck about like sugary sweet snacks anyway. But you know, and then like chips, for example, like back in the day, you could get like chips for like, you get 4 chips for $1, and now it's like 2 for $1. So those was like small things that I noticed in like 2020 when I was like 17, you know what I'm saying? So I'm 23 now, and now I notice it more and more into my adulthood because, for example, what was I finna say? Yeah, for example, like I notice every time I go to the store, for example, now, like I'm usually spending about like $7, and it'll be like a bag of chips, water, like something else. Like I don't know. Like I just be noticing like it's like your dollar is half of the amount that it was. Like it's like you always spending like $2, $3, maybe some $7. And I'm just saying that to like be to just acknowledge like the currency system, at least the US currency system, you know. And I get to the bag and all of that, but that's not like my main like currency. Like I look at the US currency as a means to like get resources, and most importantly, more than anything, is time. Because it's like the more I figure out ways to get this currency faster, and more so not faster but flowing, the more time that I'll have to do the things that I want to do. So I'm not looking at it like just you work harder, you're gonna get more. It's more so like finding out ways to get to the bag, to be able to get that currency flowing so you can get the time that you need to do whatever the fuck that you want to do and build whatever the fuck you want to do. Me personally, at least, because I want a chill life, you know what I'm saying? I want land, etc. Like before getting off this video, before I started this video, like I was just getting off work, and I was like, you know what, I just want to do a YouTube video because I need to pour into myself. I can't keep pouring into my job, you know what I'm saying, and then being tired, and then I'm making YouTube videos. Like I can't be doing that. I can't be like sacrificing my time to do that, you know? Which, well, it is when you really look at the jobs, because I'm looking at it like, okay, you know, certain jobs I could have made more money from, or boom, boom, back then, you know, to now, like, you doing it now, you know, repeating some cycles, you learning, you live and you learn, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, like, and I don't want to like get controversial or anything, but it's like when I look around, I live in the city of Rochester, by the way, Rochester, New York, upstate New York. When I look around, it's like the people that been here do not get like the benefits or the help versus people who come here, for example. Like, and I'm not against anybody or like this, that, and the third, like all them things that they be doing, but it's like I think that the people who've been here should be the priority, because how are we letting people come to a country when it's people who were already here that aren't getting the proper help that they need, right? Like the other day, I just seen this lady out, and it was like 2 a.m. and she didn't have no legs, and she's out in the cold 2 in the morning. And it's like things like that, and things like that I see like daily. Like I be looking out, and like living in the city, you'll see it so much. Like the homelessness is so rampant. It's like, damn. Like even getting off work today, I just seen somebody sleep on the main street. Like I don't know if y'all know where Lake and like that cross section of Lao is, by that like Italian restaurant, or I think it used to be. But it was like somebody sleep right outside there. And it's like the compassion or the empathy or the so-called empathy and compassion that people have for human beings is really lackluster. And right now in my life, it just made me really, especially with the things that I have personally going on, I don't want to like delve into that too much, but it made me personally just realize, like, and this is for you too, like you really only have yourself. You was born in this world and you're gonna die in this world by yourself, like unless you have a twin, I guess. But you know, consciously speaking, it's like, okay, your parents brought you here, you know what I'm saying, cool, but like, you know, everybody don't have the same, like, they don't grow up the same, is what I'm saying. You feel me? Because I was just thinking this the other day. Like, I don't bash females, and I don't like pick on females or like chastise females, because I feel like that's very, I'm not gonna say this word that'll get me banned, but I'll say that's very zesty, okay? And I at the same time, I do acknowledge, I'm like, damn, like, yeah, I be doing, you know, but I don't wanna predicate my mindset on that, because that's not gonna attract the female that I want. That's gonna keep leading me to attract females like that if I just keep bitching about how females act. So, but I do wanna say this, because I do be thinking about it, and then I do recognize that there are a lot of evil-spirited people, which is why sometimes I do have those thoughts, and I, you know, disregard calling them women and be like, this bitch here, boom, boom, boom. Like, I wouldn't call a female that, but I would be thinking it, you know what I'm saying? But like, I was just thinking that the other day, because I was thinking about like, why is there so many like baby moms and baby dads? And then like, why do females be acting certain ways, you know? And like, I don't know, like I just seen this like mom yelling at her kid, and it just really triggered me, because like, you brought him into this world, and it's like, you're not pouring into him anything healthy. You're making him feel some kind of way, you know? So it's like, what was the point of bringing in life if you're not gonna be pouring into that life? So I'm just like, you know what a lot of men need to realize? Because I was thinking this with myself. I'm gonna elaborate on that. But like, women have fathers, even if they're not in their lives, but those genetic traits and those characteristics and all of those things subconsciously and unconsciously pass on. So it's like, she's acting a certain way, but it's like, look at the father. So it's like, you wouldn't even know, but it's like, those subconsciously like play a role. And it's crazy, because I was thinking this the other day, or like, I don't know, I just had this thought, because like, for example, like my mom is Puerto Rican, my mom is black and my dad is Puerto Rican. And like, I don't know, like when I used to grow up, like people used to like call me gay. And then in high school, like I had my hair dyed, like I had blue hair and I had red hair. And like, I don't know, like people used to just call me that. And then I started like getting older, and I was like, it's interesting that I'm more like in tune to like my melanated side. But it's like, when I look at it, it's like, this is interesting. It's like, I get that side from my mom. So it's like, maybe subconsciously, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but it's like, it makes sense in my head to a certain extent. But it's like, you know, life things also influence the way people act. So it's like that, you know, has a role into it too. I don't know, just a more like feminine nature, you know, like a lot of men aren't comfortable in their femininity. So it's like, when they see a man that is, it makes them uncomfortable. Granted, I'll look it back and be like, damn, I had my hair dyed at like all the way blue and all the way red in high school. Like, I would never do that again. But like, I don't know. I just felt like a free spirit, you know, but that's not like my method. But it's like, it's interesting. It's like, my mom is black, my dad's not black, you feel me? So it's like, I don't know, like the connection may be a little bit different because of that, you know? Or just, I don't know, I can't explain it, but like, you know, he has some of that in him too. But I don't know. It's just, you got to think about that when you like be talking to people, like their parents. Like, how do their parents affect them subconsciously and unconsciously, especially if they don't know them. By the way, I do want to shout out Bro Yosef. If y'all know Bro Yosef, and if y'all don't, get in tune. But this pennant of Uriel, he made it fire. Cold. His YouTube is New Life Tools. I ordered this. It's a pennant of Uriel. It really stuck out to me because it had the Z on it. And I also watched this YouTuber. His name is Dolo the Pilot Man, and he says he's Archangel Uriel. So shout out to him too. But the Z really stuck out to me. But I also found out that Uriel is the like an angel for the sign of Aquarius, which was like another thing to where it's like, okay. And I ain't gonna lie, like I definitely have been feeling this pendant. Like it's definitely been giving me that radiance and like increasing my aura and tapping me in type. But yeah, I want to continue talking about this life and like a little bit about relationships because like I was saying, like I don't know, I'm at the point in my life, in a stage of my life to where it's like it's me, right? And it's like family, more so like my siblings, and then like my friends type shit, you know? That's how I look at it. Like when it comes to priority, like when you think about the most important people to you, or the most important thing to you beside yourself, whether you got kids or you got, you know, for me it's like my siblings, my little sisters, you know what I'm saying? The most important things to me. And then it's like, okay, my friends, because they like help me, they support me, they show love, we're growing up together and we facing similar trials and tribulations now. But then it's like, I look outside of that, and it's like, we have an understanding, but it's like, outside of that, bro, people only give a fuck about what the media makes them give a fuck about, essentially. So it's like, people only give a fuck about, like, let's say Gaza, for example, because they're talking about it. How many people actually give a fuck or actually empathize with that situation? Or they just go with the narratives and then let the media control their emotions versus actually giving a fuck. Because I'm gonna be honest, there are certain things that they do talk about on the media that I don't give a fuck about. I'm gonna be completely real with you. I'm not gonna name certain situations, but it's like, I don't know. I care, especially about the children and people who are victims of circumstances and people who are having their free will infringed against them, but like, or free will infringed upon, but like there are certain things to where it's like that's out of my control, and certain things to where it's like, well, maybe these things happen for a reason, so it's like I don't know what to tell y'all. But like, I don't know, that's my perspective. I don't try to think about things that I can't control, and I definitely don't want to think about, you know, like I said, I empathize with the children, I sympathize with the children. Like things do make me cry, like, you know what I'm saying? There are things definitely make me cry as a grown-ass man, I can admit that, like no cap. You know, but that's like in my own time where I like, you know, reflect on that and let those feelings fill. But outside of that, it's like I can't not even worry, but like think about things outside of like that I can immediately control, or more so like my people or my tribe and things of that nature. You feel me? People who are like-minded, who are willing to make a change, who may be on YouTube, who are doing their own thing. Because the majority of these people just don't give a fuck. Which is why I'm making this video, because it's like, I don't know, the amount of networking that I've done, especially like since becoming an adult in this city. And like, you know, speaking with the mayor, speaking with these politicians, speaking with all these people, it's like they don't give a fuck. They just want to check. Like, no cap, they just want to check. Because you see that building up there? That building up there, somebody's like somebody's at the top floor right now. Somebody's at the top floor of that building watching, like if you look from there, you can see like all of the homeless people from there. I'm sure you could like look out and like see the homeless people all from there, and they don't give a fuck. The Bible says, I'm not quoting this exactly, but it's like, it's a quote similar along the lines of, enemies dwell in high places, you know, and it's like figuratively and literally, because like who lives in these buildings? At the top of these buildings, while they look at the bottom of the people who are suffering. And then it's like over there, they got a tower that, like a hotel that's abandoned, it's been abandoned and they want to rebuild it. And they have like a whole bunch of abandoned buildings. Let's just say they have a whole bunch of abandoned buildings in Rochester. And instead of like renovating it for like the homeless, you know, they just keep it destroyed because they want people like paying. Like they want people paying like a currency. And it's like, I don't have a problem like contributing to society, but it's like when it's not aligned with my goals or my passions, then it's like I don't give a fuck at that point. It's like then it's just part of y'all system, and it's like it has no real, like, certain jobs don't actually need to exist. Like fast food, like there's no actual passion in fast food, for example. Like that job doesn't need to exist, like literally, you know. That's like, or Amazon, like Amazon, that job is like literally instant gratification. Like that, the existence of Amazon is predicated upon people's desire for instant gratification, you know? And it's like, when we have these high level intellectual conversations, these are the ones that they're afraid of, because when they look at me, they have a preconceived notion that I fit some kind of stereotype. But it's like, no, I'm more powerful than you'll ever know, because you're not one of us. You know what I'm saying? You are one of the people who benefit from the suffering of people. So it's like, at what point do I even call you a human being? Like, why would I consider myself the same thing as you when it's like, you know, I see people who are suffering, and I see people who are suffering and empathize with their people who are crying, who, you know, wish things can change, blah, 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 blase, blase. But then I look at these other people and it's like, they want to like intellectualize and socialize. And like, why? Why do they do this? And why is this? Instead of actually doing. You know, it's like they be like overanalyzing shit. Like with like, for example, album reviews, like they be overanalyzing shit when it's like, bro, it's just fucking music. Like people are just being passionate. Like, I don't know. It's like the way that they look at life and the way that we look at life is like two different things. We're looking at it life like we are living in it as creators. They're looking at life like they're subject to it, which is why it's like the idea of a scientist without like spirituality is like essentially the absence of like the idea of God in it, which is where they're fucking up at. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, like that's how I'm feeling, and you know, I just hope I gotta make these videos because I personally feel like when I express myself, people don't really understand or really take the time to listen. So it's like these YouTube videos or my TikTok videos, all etceteras have been an extension to that because people just don't listen. I listen to people though. Like, I am a very empathetic person. It's like, I've done hurt so many people's life stories. So much pain to the point of tears. And I'm not even lying with y'all. Like, in front of them, and they're just telling me their life stories. It's like, this has to end. This has to change. There has to be a change to this. We can't keep living like this. There are people who are 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. Still. You know, and I honestly am going to say this. A big part of that is waiting on somebody who, for one, doesn't look like you. I'm not waiting on somebody who doesn't look like me, first and foremost, considering that these same people who look like the person that you're waiting for enslaved your people and slaughtered them, raped, pillaged, and killed them. I'm not waiting for a person who looks like the people that did that to my people, because that's where the brainwashing already comes into play. Because then it's like, okay, those people who brought that religion over here worship that, and they did this, so that already, mathematically speaking, isn't even adding up. So I'm personally, and it doesn't matter what race y'all want to say that being is, it's like, stop waiting, because it's like, okay, the idea of a Jesus or Yeshua being melanated makes more sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And if you read in the Bible, that's facts. Okay, but I would think that if that person was coming back, they would want the people to actually make the change first. Because think about it. If y'all killed me, right? And I came back 3 days later, and then I like ascended up to heaven, which is a whole another thing, because like Christians be making it seem like he died for our sins, but it's like he came back 3 days later. So what the fuck are y'all talking about? He died and came back. So they even say he faked his death. So who knows? You know what I'm saying? Mind you, nobody was around for this, so we don't even know. But it just makes sense, you know? It just makes sense. Like it just makes sense. It's like, what if all of the melanated people in the world, like, we dealt with our traumas? Because you see, I'm in my 20s. I'm 23, right? Other 23-year-olds are waking up. So it's like the next generation is gonna be like teenagers waking up, and then the next generation is gonna be kids waking up, and then the next generation, the babies, is gonna be born into this, because we're gonna be healed from the traumas. So it's like that's how the idea of a Jesus or a Yeshua would incarnate. Because why would I come back to this shit knowing that y'all killed me last time? Not even just saying me, but it's like, you put yourself in those shoes. Like, you gotta think about this shit outside of it. Like, you gotta, this is the problem with religion. See, they know what's up. It's a motherfucking helicopter up there, because they watching me. They know the vibration, they know the frequency, and they know the energy. So it's fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might say I'm delusional or whatever, but it's like, I've been seeing them videos, and it's just so funny, because I literally never, ever seen a helicopter in this spot. Ever. To just now, and I'm not even lying. So even if it wasn't, I don't give a fuck, because they were still looking out here anyway. So don't even take that to heart. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, wouldn't you want, like, say it's your kid or your grandchild, or just, you know, the protection, like how I was making the point about the children earlier. It's like, we got to protect the children. So it's like, if a Yeshua was to come back, I would want this world to be good, because I want this world to be good for me. I want this world to be good for my kids. I want this world to be good for my peers and all of my people. So, you know, why wouldn't we want to, like, clean up our traumas and clean the world for that? Because it's not just that one being. It's just our generation. It's like, you know, I don't know. Because, like, in the Bible, they say idol worship. So it's like, even the idea of Yeshua, more so Jesus Christ, the way they, like, changed him, is, like, kind of idol worship. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. I'm just speaking my thoughts. I just got an iCloud error. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to shoot on this. You know, it says it could do 4K 60, but I just did 4K 30, because I don't think that they can do 4K 60, because, yeah, I don't know if it's like really that advanced for real. And then GTA 6 is gonna come out, and that can't even run 4K 60, I heard. So I don't know if this phone can really do that. So I just put it on 4K 30. I just really wanted to test out my new phone, and I just thought it would be perfect time. I just got off of work, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, if y'all trying to tap in, y'all can tap in with my email, and then, like, if I really, you know, want to build, and you really want to build, like, get my number, et cetera. But like, share, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I don't know. I was kind of rambling a bit, but I hope this, like, video helped y'all a little bit in some kind of way. But peace and love, y'all. Peace out.